Hi. Have you ever feel like um you are so much overburdened with the emotions that you literally don't know how you are actually? Yesterday I was very much like in upset mood. We had like a conflict and I was crying. I was thinking about why. Sometimes I feel like when things are going fine actually, and in reality they are not going fine, you just feel like just because the pain is not at the same level as you are handling, you feel like, oh, things are going fine. Sometimes parents try their best to do for a kid, which is absolutely a responsible and amazing thing. I created the video Let a Child Live. Some people understand it, some people misinterpret it. When a child is of like 4 or 5 years, we try our best to give moral values to the child. We try our best to make sure that the child will not be like the bad enemies we have around ourselves. So sometimes we try our best to restrict them, even though that restriction is required, necessary for the child. But sometimes it results in the opposite direction. I was sleeping and my brother was outside the house. Actually, we have to keep check on our kids. This place is kind of like that because every like 2-3 houses we have forest here, nearly like farmers field. So we cannot leave our child without taking care of them. We have to keep them in supervision, and he disappears. And I woke up and first thing I did is searching him. That's what I do because I know his schedule is fixed. We have a schedule of him actually, how we want him to work, because he is just like a 10-year-old kid. Your child can be like 5 months old, 5 years old, even 15 years old. You will still do the thing I did yesterday. And he disappeared. And I was like, where he is. I asked so many people, and every single person said, we don't know. Even the kid who was playing with him said, I don't know. And I was so much in anger. Then I saw him standing on the road. I stopped myself and I asked my mom, hey mom, now you tell me, where were you when he was out of the house? Do you know actually where he is going? That was my fear of losing him, because he did things like it. We always try our best to tell him, hey, you should not do this, hey, you should do this thing like this, hey, you should not involve he draw a lot, like, so we try our best to tell him, hey, you should not engage in drawing a lot, you should study. But when I see myself, when I see my mom speaking those words to him and his reaction, he always says, why me? Why don't you tell the same to me, like me? Why don't you tell the same to her, my other sister? Why me? You always scold me, you always nagging me about things. And then I realized, Anna, you were also a kid. At least you had that freedom to draw freely, to do things. Then why we are not letting our brother doing the same thing? So sometimes I try my best to console my mom, to tell her not to, she don't hit. And I think hitting is not the solution. If you are feeling like your kid is getting out of your hands, you should restrict, you should impose, you should make that person responsible. It's your duty, but handling it very strictly won't solve the problems, because 3 days continuously nagging, shouting, screaming, telling, and the only response we get in return is he always says the same line. You always keep nagging me. What about them? They are also like me. What about those kids who are playing outside? They're also like me. And the only thing my mom tell him is that our life is not same. We are different from the kids you are surrounding right now. And I think this is the reason I created this video. Parents try their best and it is necessary, because if we don't stop our kids, if we don't stop our little siblings from doing things, they will get into bad influence. And I have the result in front of me. I don't want to take their names. A kid in our society, he drinks soft drinks. He drinks some energy drinks, and the influence of that kid is so bad that we have to tell this kid, stay away from our area, don't come here, because we don't want our brother kid, especially you will do, if you are in my shoes, you will do the same. You will tell, don't come near my brother or my sibling or my son or my daughter. But sometimes when we tell them, hey, you are doing this wrong, the way we are telling them, the method we are using can be disastrous. Because you notice this thing, the more strict parents, the more naughty their child is. The more you try to control something, the more it gets out of its hand. And when the 3-day war was over, I did only one thing. I don't engage in conversations well. I am the reason people laugh in my house, and I know how to use my words. The only thing I explained it to her is, Mom, you are a single person handling your kid right now. And if you are a single parent, it becomes much more complex for you to handle your child, to handle how your child is, which influence your child is getting in the school, the friends, the family circle. So I know for a single parent it is very much hard. What you can do is, if your child is not listening to you, put strict restrictions. First of all, you should check the friend circle. I feel like friends, family, people around a person influence a person a lot. Because if you don't take actions right now, this will lead, either the kids starts hating you, because that nagging, he don't know the difference between nagging and what is right and what is wrong. But he, of course, and for surely starts hating you for neglecting his desires. For how long and at what extent you can fulfill your child's wish? At some point you have to tell, I'm out of budget, it's not in my control, and I cannot provide you this thing. And when the person, even if it's you and me, starts saying, oh, I want this, there's a difference between need and want. But when the word want inject into the veins of a kid, it becomes out of hand. So to all the parents who thinks that, oh, always hitting their child is the solution or nagging them is the solution, I am not expert. I don't have any kid. I'm not even married yet. This is something I feel like from the yesterday incident that I can share with people. Parents love their child. I can say that not every parent love their kid. Exceptions, some situations. But most of, out of 199 points, some people love their kid. And they have to understand that what they do is necessary. But controlling your child too much, taking the youth from your child too much, telling your child you should do this instead of this, you have to understand. One day you will understand it, and it would be so late. Because if the child starts hating you, you can do any possible thing. You cannot make the child love you back. You can provide everything, and that is the thing I can say, that's spoiling. Because you feel like you develop a fear that what if I don't fulfill this need of my kid, he will start taking steps. We all do. because we know when we ask our parents for something, and if our parents are fulfilling that something, that then the need, we are fine. And if don't, we do tactics. We stop eating, we start crying, and we do such kind of things. Even I still do. So, my dear people, I know I am no one to teach you parenting, but I want you to understand that your kid needs you emotionally. Your kids need you more emotionally, mentally, physically than financially. Because you can spend your money to buy the things which brings happiness, but you have to give your time to earn the genuine happiness of your kid. Or what should I say, a kid expects the same. The very last thing I want to tell you is, suppose you are earning day and night for what? For your kid, but you are not giving that kid your time. The kid starts to live by himself or herself. Then tell me, what is the benefit of that money? I know you are saving it for the future of your child, but what is the benefit if the child is not getting the love he is required at a certain age? Sometimes my mom says single parenting is so hard, and I understand. So I hope you get the message. Controlling, spoiling, and taking right measures for your child is important. Have a nice day.